Let's get right to our strategy session. Joining us, our CNN political contributor, the Democratic strategist Paul Begala, and Republican strategist Ron Christie, a former special assistant to President Bush. Guys, thanks very much for coming in. We asked our viewers out there to send us their video eye reports, and we got this one from Egberto Willies, who lives in Houston. He considers himself a liberal. He contributed money to President Obama's campaign. Listen to this.
The president used this week's town halls and factory visits, culminating with The Tonight Show, to achieve what I believe are three specific goals. One, listen to the average citizen's problems and tie them directly to his specific budgetary policies. Two, inoculate himself from missteps by stating categorically that he will make mistakes, acknowledge them, and move on. And three, present himself as a generally likable guy.
All right, is this smart for the president to be as visible as he is doing the speeches, the news conference, the Tonight Show, the town hall meetings? Is he overexposed?
Yeah, I don't know, but Egberto Willies is a genius. Look at this T-shirt. Wait, get a tower to put the shot back up. You see the T-shirt? Look what he's wearing.
Oh,
Look at you. Look at this. See the tie here? Texas is going to beat Duke tomorrow night. You watch. But yes, actually, here's why. And I think actually Mr. Willies is right. This president's really good at this. And I think one of his greatest gifts is his ability to explain. I watched the whole tape, because I was watching basketball live, but I watched the tape today of the president on the Jay Leno show. And it was so impressive. He explained how AIG happened better than any of the propeller-head economists that I've seen, even on our network. That job of explainer-in-chief is very important. And he's got to hunt where the ducks are at. Sometimes they're on Jay Leno. Usually they're in the Situation Room, but you want to also get some other audiences.
What do you think?
Well, I think he runs the risk of being overexposed. I mean, I understand that he wants to get out and communicate with the people, but he's on the Tonight Show, he's on the cover of GQ. When you go to the supermarket, he's in all the tabloids. I think people want an escape from politics, and I think when you have a politician who's always on television, always in the magazines, people want a break, and they say, for goodness sakes, you want to talk about the Longhorns? I mean, even the coach of Duke, Mike Krzyzewski, said the president should stick to the economy rather than filling out NCAA brackets. I just think
Krzyzewski needs to stick on basketball because Rick Barnes and the Longhorns going to beat him.
Well, he just runs the risk, Paul. I think he just runs the risk of being a little bit overexposed.
But do you think that it's not presidential? Is that what some people are saying? It's just too much.
It is too much. I mean, I think people want a little bit of a distance from their president. Obviously, they want to hear from the president when there are very important issues of the day. Obviously, the economy is one of those. But when he's talking about bowling and he's talking about his sports brackets, I think people are saying it just diminishes.
But at the same time, he is really good at the town hall meeting, the interview with Jay Leno. He's very smooth when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And it was a very substantive interview. Yes, Jay asked him about the dog and whether he was playing basketball, but the huge and so do we though. I mean, the real press does that as well.
Most of that conversation last night was substance.
90% was substance. He talked about clean energy and how America needs to be competitive. He talked about cars, something Leno knows a lot about, how we got to move to hybrids and hydrogen and plug-in vehicles. He talked a lot about AIG and the economic crisis. He's very good at this. And I will say, some of this is
we're going to hear a lot of this in the next hour, but there's no doubt there was almost a record audience on The Tonight Show last night. Millions and millions of people tuned in, not the regular Jay Leno viewers. This was an opportunity for the president to reach out.
Well, here's one thing I think that he did well by going on The Tonight Show. There's so many different people who watch the political shows, and there's so many people who watch the cable outlets. He had an opportunity to reach a different demographic, a different audience, perhaps, that was used to seeing the President of the United States. And I think he connected with some people that he might not have otherwise reached.
And these are unprecedented times, at least in modern times, and the president's supposedly got to do a lot in order to get the kind of excitement going that he'll need if he wants his agenda to go forward.
What he's trying to push through, even a Congress controlled by his own party, is almost without precedent in our lifetimes. The economic recovery, healthcare, education, energy, it's a big agenda.
What about Sarah Palin, the governor of Alaska?